a wonderful place existed.
The Athenians called it
The Acropolis.
free expression, ethics, art, philosophy. The Acropolis heralded the democracy. But if I told you the Acropolis has returned, Acropolis News. News from the Acropolis.
Massive sale going on right now over on the Acropolis News.com. Just use promo codes ANN and July 4 in order to get your first month free and 20% off all auto renews, respectively. With the premium subscription, you get access to all the premium content on the site, like this premium article where I went over the validity of time travel and whether or not it's a question of science. Spoiler alert, it's not. But if you want the full details, you can go to theacropolisnews.com/products, purchase a premium subscription, and make sure to type in those coupon codes.
Acropolis News. News from the Acropolis.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Trevor Report. Let's jump on into it. And I don't want to talk about this or say this, but this became a thing over in Yankee land, and my fellow Americans decided to talk about this. Hold on. Now, oh God, I really hope this, what I'm about to say, doesn't get clipped. Yeah, hold on. I want to make sure I say this carefully. Yeah, Anne Frank had white privilege. Oh, jeez. Bad things happen to people with white privilege, but also don't tell me the whites that... Oh. But also don't tell the whites that... Oh. Ooh, that's, Oh, God. Yikes. That's a big yikes. Don't ever say that. Now, the thing is, if I was doing this earlier, right, in the sort of early days of the Trevor Report, I would take this claim seriously. But because I've been dealing with this for almost 2 years now, no, I'm not going to take it seriously. There's nothing to take seriously. This is just a stupid take, and that's why a bunch of people were talking about it. But this is the original, I guess, the screenshot of the original tweet. It might have been deleted. I don't remember, and honestly, I don't care. But it's literally the best way I can describe it, I guess. I'll take it seriously for a moment. Is that the black nationalists, or people who believe that the axiomatic presuppositions of critical race theory is true, they essentially view all white people as the same. All of them. That they all have the same ethics, they all have the same morality, they all have the same principles, they all look the same, and as a consequence, all white people are this just hive of resources that they all have and share. It's like no, they don't. It's actually if you wanted a pretty good summary of the critical race theory essay, Whiteness as Property, it would be exactly that. all white people all have this thing, all non-white people have this thing, therefore blah 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 blah. And that's what he's getting at right there. Sure, Anne Frank might have been hunted by a bunch of Nazis and all this stuff, but at the end of the day, Anne Frank was white, and all white people blah blah blah. It's like, no, shut up. Okay, Anne Frank was being persecuted. Shock of all shocks. Anne Frank was being persecuted for being Jewish, and then the National Socialists in Germany, who tried to make a racial group proletariat, unfortunately succeeded, this is basic history and philosophy, and you wouldn't be like basic knowledge of this, and you wouldn't be making these kind of stupid takes. Okay, here's a thing on National Socialism: if the Aryans are proletariat, then therefore what is deemed not Aryan must therefore be bourgeoisie. Okay, this is very very basic. This is the actual philosophy of fascism, and it shows a remarkable resemblance to critical race theory, and that's why they're making these stupid takes, because they're stupid. Anyway, let's continue with even more woke nonsense. Would a black Friends fix it? TV's white New York still needs a reckoning. Why do they need a reckoning for being born? Why is the Friends cast? They're not all white. It's like looking at a Mayan, a Aztec, and a Cherokee, and it's like, this show's problematic. They're all Redskins. What if we blah 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 blah? No, shut up. Okay, there's obvious differences between these, and even among the differences between these various tribes. Okay, and do it with the example of Europeans, I suppose. Italian, with the cast of Friends. Okay, there's Joey is Italian, and Chandler, honestly, Chandler kind of looks like my uncle without the beard, and he got a lot of that in high school and in college, and my family's like this weird Irish, Swedish, well, not weird, but you understand what I mean, is some mix of Irish and Swedish and a few others that I can't remember off the top of my head, because I just don't care, because at the end of the day, I'm a Yankee, and these people that desire this, they're Americans. Well, okay, The Guardian is a British institution, but the people who care about this, they're not authentically American. Okay, America is an integrationist society. This is an inherently anti-integrationist perspective. That's why I like to use the term Yankee and not the term American, because it seems that Americans seem to have this continental European philosophy that is inverted onto itself in order to make the Klan and the Black Panthers happy, basically. And that's why I don't like the term American. I'll happily call myself a Yankee, though. But anyway, we need to move on to the next segment. Democrats' Jan 6 committee plays clip from Timcast. Tim Pool smeared with out-of-context lies, and I'll just link in the description basically what his own statements on it. Was about a half an hour rant from him, from the man himself. I recommend you check it out, because the Jan 6 committee, they're literally, and this is what you get from watching Viva Fry's thing, because Viva Fry, when he does these Jan 6 committee, he's so quick. I cannot recommend it enough. And he's literally, I'm not sponsored, by the way, but he literally goes, oh man, just that's wrong, that's a lie, that's a lie, this isn't even admissible, this doesn't even make any sense, this doesn't even make sense with the timeline, she's lying, blah blah blah. And it's just, I don't know, like, it's a much more enjoyable experience than, like, watching the hearings live, and I don't watch the hearings live. Like, if I do watch them, I'll watch them the day after, but to be honest, I don't really care. I'm essentially only in a position to care because other people care, and I've essentially dedicated, I've dedicated my free time when I have it to catalog the things that go on in terms of American politics, and I guess things that can affect American politics in a wider context, essentially. Like, I've made this commitment. I'm going to stick with my commitment, even if I really, really, really don't want to. But anyway, let's continue. TR Live, Hunter Biden is the degenerate you think he is, and more. Now, this is literally the previous Trevor report, where I talked about in segment 1, I talked about how Steve Bannon might testify to the Jan 6 committee, but I don't think they'll allow any genuine opposition to say anything. But there is some speculation, and it seems more and more likely. Oh, wait, let's see. Where does he talk about it? Is it right here? No. Yeah, they're calling Steve Bannon to testify before the Jan 6 panel. Like, in there. And I don't know how to put this. Steve Bannon is smarter than all of them combined, so how in the world do they plan and like, he doesn't really take anyone's shit, so how do they plan on reeling him in? Are they just gonna cut his microphone over and over and over again? Like, are they gonna, like, ask him a question? If you're listening to this on Spotify, I did questions in air quotes. Are they gonna do that, or like, what are they gonna do? Because, like, Steve Bannon is just going to destroy him, and this committee already has, like, no credibility. They've been caught lying over and over and over again. I've exposed, like, a tenth of them, because there's just, I'd literally have to I literally have to just put on the easiest way to do it, I suppose, would be to just put on the Jan 6 panel and, like, do a live stream and then, like, go in real time, blah, 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 blah. But honestly, Viva Fry's better at me than that. So I don't know if I want to. But I don't know. But it's just, I guess, in sort of a wider context, Americans, not Yankees, they're sort of going out of their way to just be stupid and ridiculous for no reason. Okay, these Americans are university educated. So, like, okay, let's continue. NYC releases PSA for residents in the event of nuclear attack. It's the most corporate video ever. And look, there's an article on it in case you want to talk about it more. But I just, in case you want to look into it more, like, this caused a nuke scare in New York for, like, an entire day. It's just completely irresponsible from our betters. But I don't expect anything less. So let's just watch it.
So there's been a nuclear attack. Don't ask me how or why. Just know that the big one has hit. Okay? So what do?
Stupid.
There are 3 important steps that I want you to remember. Step 1, get inside fast. You, your friends,
Look, I'm laughing because this doesn't, like, for the people in, like, Manhattan or whatever, like, it's just gonna decimate the entire thing. Okay, we have, like, the nukes that we have now just completely eclipse the nukes that were used in World War II. Okay, the rat bombs we dropped on Japan, as it were. Okay, so there's, I can't believe, like, you'd expect governments to understand this, but New York is filled with Americans, so they may be my fellow Americans, but they are not my fellow Yankees. I'll just put it that way. And okay, the nukes we have now, and I'm going to have to explain this to my fellow Americans, not my fellow Yankees, just my fellow Americans. Okay, the nukes we had back then that we dropped on Japan or whatever, like, they're like 18,000 kilotons or whatever. The nukes we have now are 50 megatons, and you need 1,000. You need like, I forget the number. It's either 1,000. No, it is 1,000. You need 1,000 kilotons in order to make a megaton. Or is it 10,000? One of the two. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, don't judge. I literally, as soon as I open my eyes, I hit record. Okay, but it's insane. It's so insane. It's so insane. Okay, you could use like 2 or 3 of these, and you'd turn the entire eastern. You would just glass the entire eastern seaboard. Like, in the event you're in Manhattan and there's a nuke and it drops on Manhattan, get inside. Just get inside. It's so stupid.
Your family, get inside. And no, staying in the car is not an option. You need to get into a building and move away from the windows.
And on the off chance that the entire third of the continent isn't immediately glassed because there's absolutely no way Russia would just launch one nuke, and that's assuming Russia only targets one place. I'm gonna assume this video is like in the event Russia does a thing, they're not gonna nuke the U.S. Okay, and I don't mean that as a nuke I don't mean that from like a mutually assured destruction thing. I mean this from Russia is trying to build itself an empire, and that's sort of Putin's goal. He wants to build an empire. He's like said something about like trying to rebuild the USSR or whatever. It's not gonna happen, but that's his goal. I personally would prefer the state of Prussia, because that is the only version of the Russian state that I consider legitimate. But none. I want Prussia. Prussia was like not a terrible place. As soon as it became Russia, well, but it's essentially, I don't know how to describe it other than Putin wants an empire and an irradiated wasteland. That's assuming that in a nuclear war the entire planet isn't just glassed, okay? But assuming the entire planet isn't glassed, it's still an irradiated wasteland, and ruling over a vibrant place with a bunch of people to like give you resources and things like that is 1,000% better than an irradiated wasteland. Just saying. So it's not gonna happen, because nuclear war is contrary to even if, and I don't think it would even happen, even if the slight possibility that Russia wins a nuclear war, that's not going to happen because it's contrary to their goals. They wouldn't do it because it's contrary to their goals. See, it's really is that simple. But let's continue.
Step 2, stay inside.
No. Your goal should be to get to go to a place that can take assuming again it's the whole thing isn't just glassed. Okay, this is you need to get to a place where the radiation will not harm you, and even if you're not in the blast zone of a nuclear explosion, the shock wave that the 50 megaton explosion would produce would shatter all the glass for miles. Okay, so in the event Okay, and if you're inside when that happens, you're outside of the blast radius, all the glass flying at ridiculous speeds would probably hit some kind of vital organ somewhere. And because a lot of resources is concentrated into cities or into the outskirts of cities, it'll be difficult for medical assistants to attend to you, and then the radiation would get into those glass wounds. This is the stupidest advice, but they keep giving.
Shut all doors and windows. Have a basement? Head there. If you don't have one, get as far into the middle of the building as possible. If you were outside after the blast, get clean immediately. Remove and bag all outer clothing to keep radioactive dust or ash away from your body. Step 3. Stay tuned. Follow media for more information.
Okay. Also, if some of the nukes are detonated into the stratosphere, what would happen is it would cause an EMP. This is very basic what if there's a nuclear holocaust thing. This is very basic information. If you dedicate a nuke into the stratosphere, it causes an EMP, and it will be in a huge rate. Honestly, you don't even need to directly nuke New York, Manhattan, or whatever. If you just detonate a massive EMP like that right over into the stratosphere, right over New York, the city would just tear itself apart. And it's so and then there would be plausible deniability. It wouldn't work, but you could have plausible deniability and things like that. The point is, this video is stupid and has a lot of stupid advice for a lot of stupid reasons. But we're sort of running low on time right now. So let's move on. Sri Lanka protesters angered by economic meltdown storm president's house. I don't like the rioting, but I understand that their situation is rather desperate. And in Sri Lanka, the reason why they're protesting is the same reason why the Dutch farmers are protesting, and fundamentally, it's because of ESG scores. ESG scores are basically just fashion. It's okay. Okay, I understand when I, as a Yankee, right, I get conflated with my fellow Americans when I say it's literal fascism. When I say it's literal fascism, I don't mean the way Americans use it, as in I don't like it, okay? I'm a Yankee. I understand what things are outside of my country, okay? So when I say it's literal fascism, I mean philosophically speaking, it is literally this. Okay, and when I say literally, I don't mean the American sense of using the word literally. I mean the Yankee. Okay, I'm a Yankee. All right, when I say literally, I don't mean figuratively. When I say literally, I literally mean literally. Anyway, long story short, I'm really running low on time. I'll explain it a lot more on Friday. ESG scores are basically used to make the how can I summarize it in 30 seconds? It's used to make instruments of the state and the way citizens engage in society through commerce in general. It's designed to make it proletariat. It is designed to turn institutions into a revolutionary force, because the proletariat is not a revolutionary force. Those farmers need to produce food in order to make money so they don't starve, right? The Sri Lankans need to they have a really high environmental social governance score. But the thing is, they're also out of food, and people like to feed their kids. People actually if they have a choice between being used as guinea pigs to serve ideological ends or just feeding their children, they would choose feeding their children at all costs over literally everything else, because that's what a parent does. But anyway, in the meantime, my name is Trevor Brown, and you just watched the Trevor Report. Do click the Linktree down below in the description that I was forced to make because Linktree banned my Linktree, so I made my new one down below in the description. All of you brilliant viewers out there, my name is Trevor Brown. I am the editor-in-chief of Acropolis News Network because I can give myself whatever name and title I want because I own it. You could go to theacropolisnews.com, or you could go to This Just Trevor on whatever Liberty platform is your choice. You know, except for the ones I'm not on because I haven't seen them pretty much.
Acropolis News. News from the Acropolis.